Hi guys, I'm Kelly from fitnessblender.com, and today I have a body weight only upper body and cardio kickboxing workout for you. So I've included both your warm-up and your cool down, and I'm going to show you low impact options all the way through. Like I said, you don't need any equipment at all for this. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, for our cardio warm-up, we're going to be doing 25 seconds of nice light cardio intervals to get our muscles and our brains ready to work hard. So we're going to start off with a boxer shuffle. So if you want to keep this low impact, your feet don't even have to leave the ground, just kind of march in place. Otherwise, you're just really slowly getting your lungs and your muscles ready to work. So like I said, 25 seconds for each of these. There's no rest interval in between, so it's a really quick transition. 10 seconds left of this, so we're going to switch to a chest and back stretch. So we're going to be doing a lot of upper body work today. We're going to get a good workout in even without any equipment at all. So right here we're stopping and we're reaching forward, so you get a back stretch, and then opening back up to stretch the chest. So just kind of going back and forth at your own pace, whatever feels good for you. Getting those upper body muscles ready to work. Okay, next up we have toe touch circles. I'm going to warm up our torso and lower back and legs a little bit here. So you're coming down to one side, cross over to the other, come back up, and then repeat in the opposite direction. So be very mindful of how much range of motion you have. You don't want to feel any pain at all during this. You're just getting those muscles warmed up. 5 seconds left. And we're going to switch to a torso twist plus a knee. So right here, 1, 2, on that third one, bring up your knee. 1, 2, 3. So we're just warming up through our core. It's also going to be getting a good workout today thanks to those kickboxing intervals. Keep your core nice and tight. Try to make all your range of motion coming from your torso instead of twisting at the hips as well. All right, next up we have a row plus a lateral step. So right here, just pulling back, squeeze those muscles. It's really cold in here, so I have the sniffles. It's actually snowing outside. I hope it's still snowing out there when I get up. Done with work. Alright, next up we are switching to upstanding pike crunch. So standing up nice and tall, we're going to bring our hands to our feet. So alternating back and forth. Try not to use any swinging motion at all. You want to be using your muscles. And again, you don't have to, don't compare yourself to me. So use your own range of motion, even if you have to keep it nice and low. That's just fine. And if you can go higher than me, even better. Alright, next up we have a slow burpee. So these actually feel pretty good. I'm going to be walking down, out, out, up, up, and come up to squeeze your glutes and put your hands up over your head. So make sure that you are leaning with a different leg each time, just to mix things up. It's good for your brain and your body. Keep your core pulled in nice and tight. 5 seconds, I'm going to switch to squats. So just a basic squat here. So feet about shoulder width apart, you're sinking back behind yourself. Start that motion by hinging at your hips, stick your butt out, and then keep the majority of your weight in your heels. You want your toes up off of the floor. Technically, you should be able to. Alright, next up we have a toe touch torso twist. So again, trying to get that torso, the core warmed up. So right here we're going to touch the opposite toe, come back up, and open to the opposite side. Next time you can switch it up, touch the opposite toe, and open to the other side. So if you feel like you need a longer warm-up, there's never any problem with that. It's always an alright thing to do. Next up, we're going to be doing big arm circles. So forward and then back. And kind of keep your feet moving. Even just kind of marching in place is a good thing. And we have just one more warm-up interval before we get to work. So I highly recommend turning on some music that motivates you and moving at your own pace too. Alright, so jumping jacks are next. Right here, if you want the higher impact version, if you want to, just cut out the jumps and just switch back and forth. Either one you're doing, try to pick up the speed as that interval starts to run out. So we're getting ready to step up our intensity. So try to do the same throughout this interval. Try to move quick, but land soft, and don't give up any range of motion. All right, so that is our warm-up. Keep your feet moving, and we'll get right into that cardio and upper body workout. Okay, guys, we are doing a combination of cardio kickboxing and upper body strength. We're doing 50 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. Kind of a quick transition. Try to do the best you can. We're starting off with a traveling push-up. So do the hardest version that you can for as long as you can. And when you start to get tired, go ahead and drop to your knees and just keep moving as much as you can. Keep your core pulled in nice and tight. Keep a straight line through your back. And try to, like I said, just keep moving. If you get tired, you can come here for a plank. You're still working your core. And as soon as you can, get back to those push-ups. Oh. All right, 20 seconds left. I actually had to film this part twice because of a technical error. So I'm going through twice, but lucky for you guys, we are doing just each one of these intervals once. So this is an awesome workout for people who have a short attention span because there are no repeat exercises. 2, 1. All right, we're jumping up, and now we're gonna be doing a traveling row. So we're working the opposite muscles we just did. We're gonna be pulling up and back at different heights to work the muscles from different angles. So right here, you are working against your own strength, which means no matter how strong you are, this should be hard. It all comes down to learning, knowing how to engage your muscles. So pull and squeeze those muscles back. Make sure you're not holding your breath. So this is you against you. So tune in and be willing to work hard. It's a lot harder than just kind of limping your way through a workout because you have to stay aware. So this is, there's cardio kickboxing in here. I know a lot of people don't like it because it makes them feel awkward or uncoordinated, but that's totally fine. You have to just keep moving. Basically, know that I'm going to mess up a lot through this workout. I'm sure of it. And here's our first cardio kickboxing interval, actually. So we're going to be doing jab, cross, jab, knee. So get set up. And we're switching sides each time. So jab, cross, jab, knee. So start out slow if you need to, and then pick up the pace as you can. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Stay nice and light on your feet. Keep your core tight. Halfway. About 15 seconds. 5. Whew. All right, 1 down. So our next interval is a pull down plus a step. So kind of a similar motion. We're staying in the same position this time, more from an overhead position. So you're stepping back, coming down over your head, pretend like you're pulling on a rope over your head. When you step back, keep your glutes nice and tight, pulling your core. So I know it's probably easy to watch this routine and think, why is she breathing so heavily and why is this hard? But if you're working against yourself, try it and I guarantee you, you will feel it. All right, so next up, again, we're going to be doing the opposite motion, working the muscles in the opposite way. So we're going to be pushing up over our head. So if we're trying to get something off of our shoulders. So right here, pushing up, and then relax on the way down. Here we go, up again. Take your time. Feel free to move at your own pace. You don't have to follow along with me. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. Screw that up. So if you do have weights, feel free to do the regular overhead press right there. This is just a totally unique way to work the muscles. An interesting change up from strength training, which is my favorite. But in a pinch, this kind of stuff is awesome. All right, so next up, we're gonna be doing 3 hooks and 2 jumping jacks. So remember, you can always cut out the jumps to keep this low impact. Otherwise, we're 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2. So remember your low impact, just cut out the jumps. Just try to still bring that intensity. So first focus on form and then pick up the pace. Take out some aggression. If anybody's stressing you out, it's better to air punch than punch in real life. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds. Okay, so next up we're gonna be doing wall push-ups. So if you're on the ground, you can lay flat on the ground and push up. Otherwise, just find a wall that you can lean against. You're just leaning in and then away. So it's gonna be a small range of motion, but you're going to feel it through your biceps, your shoulders, triceps. So the motion I'm doing here against the wall is just leaning in and pressing yourself away. It's deceptively difficult. By the end of 50 seconds, you're definitely gonna feel it. 20 seconds left. It helps to exhale at the hardest part. So when you're leaning in, inhale, exhale as you press back out. All right, so there's one of those done. Just have to do the other side. We're just a couple minutes away from a water break already. 3 seconds left. All right, here we go. So nice and tall, leaning against that wall or the floor if you need to. Pull in your core, squeeze your glutes even. There's no reason that you can't make this a total body exercise. Kind of get in that secondary toning benefit when you keep everything nice and tight. There's our halfway point already. $15 seconds left. Feel those muscles nice and tight. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating already. 3 seconds. All right, so next up, we're gonna be doing arm circles. So if you have weights, again, go ahead and add them if you want that extra challenge. Otherwise, we're going to be holding our arms directly out from our shoulder joints, and we're gonna split our directions. So if you wanna go forward first, so you're doing nice small circles around that shoulder joint, slow and controlled, no flailing. This is kind of one of those exercises that's sneaky and humbling. It sneaks right up on you. Make sure you're standing up nice and tall. Squeeze, contract your core, squeeze your glutes. I'm gonna switch in just a few seconds. 2, 1. All right, now reverse those circles. Try not to drop your arms if you can. If you need to, go ahead and shake them out really quickly and then get them back up as soon as you can. 15 seconds. 10. Breathe through it. You can do this. You don't feel anything at all. 2 and 1. All right, so one more. We have 2 knees from the reverse knee and then 3 uppercuts. So go as hard as you can here. We'll get a quick break. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and switch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Told you that I would mess up. I promise you that. This does take some coordination. Halfway. seconds. 5. Okay, so we have just earned ourselves a water break. Don't go too far, don't drink too much water, and we'll finish off the second half in just a second. Alright, we're over halfway done with this routine already, and we're starting back in with something to target the backs of the arms. So we're going to be doing tricep dips. So if you have a chair, you can perch off the end of a table or a chair and lower yourself. If you have nothing at all, go ahead and get in kind of a crab walk position, and you're lowering yourself so that your arms go straight out behind you. It's a small range of motion, but you should feel it in the backs of your arms, your triceps. So if you kick out a leg, you get a little extra work through the hamstrings, or sorry, quadriceps, and you're also going to get a little extra range of motion. So just going back and forth, alternating, focusing on letting those arms go only just straight out behind your body so you target the right muscles. So I know it's easy to bail on a workout early. I won't judge you if you do, but I encourage you to think about how good you're going to feel if you make it all the way through. Your food will taste better, you will sleep better, you're probably in a better mood. Exercise does awesome things for us, so keep going if you can. Alright, so next up we have a plank plus a 3-point reach. So this is going to be working our core, our upper body, everything all the way through the body. We're pushing up into hands and feet. I'm going to go front and then back and then come back down and do a fly. So now repeat on the opposite side, up ahead, back behind, drop down to your slide, and do a fly. So just keep it going. If this is too hard, you can always drop to your knees. Just try to keep your core nice and tight. If you want to, even the slightest amount of weight on this one is going to feel really hard. Try to keep a slight bend in your arm on that supporting arm so that it's working the whole time, because if you lock out your joints, you're going to be doing less work. Under 10 seconds, keep it going. Alright, so next up is our kickboxing interval. We're going to be doing jab, jab, cross, and then a switch. So here we go. Jab, jab, cross, switch. Jab, jab, cross. Just keep it going. If you want to make it low impact, just cut out the jumps. Just kind of shuffle back and forth. There's our halfway point. Try to keep up your intensity. You can always stop and take breaks if you need to, but try to make those breaks as short as you can. 15 seconds. Keep it going. Alright, ponytails don't make it through this kind of stuff. Alright, so next up we have a palm press plus an extension. So you're pushing your palms together, nice and tight, and then extending out. So the entire time you're pressing those hands together. This is another one where you're working on your own strength, you're against your own strength again. So you're going to feel this in your arms and your chest, but the entire time you're pressing those two hands against each other, all the way out and all the way back in. Try to keep up the intensity. Over halfway down already. I don't know if you can see my arms shaking, but they're quivering like mad at this point. Especially as those arms get out there pressing against each other. Whew, okay, so next up we're going to be working our upper back again. So we're going to be doing a bent over fly. We're going to add in some pulses just for some extra burn. So back nice and flat, and you're bringing those arms up. You're not using any jerking motions, no momentum. Nice and slow and controlled. Squeeze them on up there. Make sure your muscles are awake and that they feel this. So like I said, even without any weight at all, it's important. This is a good practice for working your way up where you actually be holding on to weights here. So make sure that you're keeping your form nice and tight. All right, and right here, let's just hang out right here for some pulses. So this is gonna be a burnout round. So for as long as you can, keep them up there, just doing these really smooth pulses at the top of the range of motion. If you get tired, let them drop, shake them out, but then get them right back up there. So at the top of the range of motion, focus, keep your arms up there, breathe. All right, and relax. So next up we have 2 hooks plus 2 uppercuts, and we're gonna be, again, doing that jump to switch over to the other side. So 2 hooks, 1, 2, 2 uppercuts, 1, 2, and then switch. Hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut, switch. Remember, if you wanna cut out the jumps, just switch without jumping. Move as quick and clean as you can. "15 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Oh, I might have started my countdown early there. Okay, so next up we have a bent over tricep extension. So again, we're working those triceps in a different way than we did before. We bent over, similar to how we did with the fly. Pull your arms up, lock your elbows in, and then just extend. So again, it's all up to you to feel it. It shouldn't matter how fit you are. You should feel this. Work against yourself. Tap into your focus, tap into your muscles, and make them work. There's halfway right there. "10 seconds. We have just about 5 minutes of hard work left, so hang in there. All right, so for a kickboxing interval, we're gonna be doing 2 hooks plus the duck. So we're gonna get some glute, some butt and thigh action in there. So 2 hooks, 1, 2, and then lean to the other side. So 1, 2, and duck. As you get familiar, start to pick up the pace. About 15 seconds left. All right, so one more group left. We're going to start with the back bow pulls. So lying flat on your stomach, you're going to pull up and bring your arms back, squeeze your shoulders together, then come back up and let yourself relax on the ground. So if you want to make it harder, just stay bowed up the entire time. So keep your upper body off the ground as much as you can and your lower body off the ground. So make sure that you're focusing on squeezing those elbows back. So you're working your glutes, your thighs, your lower back, your upper body all at once. All right. So next up we have a walk down, up down. So we're gonna be walking out into a tall plank where we lower ourselves, alternating each side. So walk down incrementally down, down, up, up. So remember which side you started on so that you can alternate the next time which hand you lower on. So this time I'm going to lower myself with the left first, which means I'm going to initiate it with the right this time. So there's little brain and body tricks that really end up adding up in the end. When you initiate the same movement on the same side of your body all the time, you build these patterns over thousands of repetitions. 15 seconds left. It's good to challenge yourself by shaking up those patterns. Try to pull your core in. I know it's going to be hard at this point because you're tired. Try to do that as much as you can. All right, so we have one more left. Next up, we're doing pivot squats. So we're going to be squatting forward and back, swiveling on one foot. So here we go. So front and back, switch, front and back. So next time we'll start back first. So back and front, switch feet, back and front. So we're just kind of getting in some leg work here. Remember to keep good squat form, so sticking your butt out behind you, flat back. Got about 15 seconds left. Keep it going. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now we've earned ourselves a cool down. So if you want to hit a pause button, you can take a second if you need more time to get your heart rate to slow down. Otherwise, I encourage you to just kind of swing your arms, move your legs, kind of let your body start to return to normal. So stretch in whatever way makes you feel good at first. Just shaking off the workout. All right, so let's start by fixing our feet. We'll go overhead. Get a nice stretch here. We'll lean to one side. We definitely did a lot of core work, oblique work just now. I'm gonna stretch these muscles out. Lean over to the other. Come back to the center and slowly make your way to your toes. All right, let's come back up and do that again. So nice and slow, stand back up. Lean off to one side. Just a quick stretch on that side. And then to the other. All right, now come down to your toes. And this time I'm going to take my hands behind my back and let them relax up over my head so that I get a nice upper body stretch again in kind of a different way. And then you can kind of just rotate back and forth between those two sides. Look for any tight spots. You should never stretch to the point of pain. Just stretch so you feel a little tension and always move nice and gentle. Stretching should be a question. You're asking your body a question. You're not telling it to do anything. Because your flexibility will range every day. It will be different probably. So next up we're going to grab this hand and pull it across your chest. So stretching the backs of the arms here. Definitely just did a lot of work there. But yeah, stretching is not something that you want to force. You have to listen to your body. It's true in every kind of fitness, but especially with stretching maybe. Just, you can really easily hurt yourself. Alright, so slowly release that arm. We'll switch over to the other one. Swing them out a second there. Now pull across your chest. So you're going to want to make sure to drink lots of water after this and eat a meal as soon as you can, something nice and healthy, as simple as possible, as unprocessed as possible. You don't need anything special. Real food is the best that you can get. Alright, so next up I'm going to grab my elbow here and pull it back behind my leg. I'm also going to step behind myself so I can get a hip flexor stretch while I'm here. So pull this arm down so that you get a good stretch again through the back of the arms, especially the triceps in this one. And then lean into that stretch so you get a good stretch through the front of your thighs. Alright, so I'm going to switch sides. Same thing with the legs. You're switching positions. You're going to grab that opposite arm as well. And I'm not, you can probably see me kind of moving. I don't recommend bouncing in a stretch, but I do like to kind of move in and out of that range of motion. For me, it feels good, but if you want to do that, I recommend doing it really slowly and smoothly. Alright, so next up, I'm going to find an open wall. I'm going to put my hand flat on it, and I'm going to turn away until I feel a stretch through my shoulder joint and my chest muscles. You can kind of get in a little bit of a neck stretch while you're here, kind of look back and forth. Alright, go ahead and switch sides. Same thing over here, rotate away from yourself until you feel a good stretch. Alright, so we did do a little bit of leg work here. It was kind of a bystander, but they got on some work, so we're going to stretch out the front of our thighs, our quads, by pulling that foot up to your butt so you get a nice stretch right through here. You can hold on to something if you need to for balance at this point. Once you're tired, balance kind of goes. So don't judge yourself if you're a little bit wobbly. Alright, I'm going to switch sides. Just a few more stretches here before I set you free. So just like with the warm-up, there's never any harm in doing extra stretches. So if you feel other places that we didn't quite hit in this cool down, feel free to stretch as much as you like after this, really. Stretching is always good. So treat yourself to extra stretches if you feel like it. Alright, next up, I'm going to walk us into a downward dog, and we're going to take our time getting there so you get a nice stretch through the back of your thighs as well, your hamstrings, and your lower back here. And then once you're ready, start walking yourself out a little bit. Try as long as you can to keep your heels on the ground, and you will get a great calf stretch. But once you're out here, if you feel your heels come up, that's perfectly fine. And you're going to try to shove your head down in between your arms, just enough that you feel a good stretch through the upper body again. Alright, so slowly walk yourself down to the ground. And actually, I'm going to flip this over so we do a deep glute stretch. This is a really great one for back pain and stretching that low back. So you're just grabbing this leg and then gently pulling this leg up towards yourself up until you feel a little bit of tension. You should feel a little bit of stretch deep in your glutes there. Kind of rock back and forth. Change up the stretch a little bit. Alright, go ahead and switch sides. So just like with this one, pull it in towards yourself until you feel stretch all the way through here. Take some nice deep breaths. If you've made it this far, you are just about to see the workout complete screen, so you should feel pretty good about that. This is the feeling, I know I've said it before, but this is the feeling you want to remind yourself of when you are having a hard time getting motivation to get your workout done. Just remind yourself how accomplished and relaxed you feel once it's over. Even if you hate working out, just remind yourself of the feeling that you get when it's over, and a lot of times it can really help motivate you. Alright, next up we're going to try to keep our shoulders flat on the ground and roll over so you get a good stretch through that torso again. Just kind of hang out here for a few seconds. Alright, now I'm going to rotate to the other side. Don't force anything, only as much as you can. Only as much as you need to feel a good stretch. Alright, let's finish off with a full body stretch because we just earned it. So you're going to take your hands and feet and kind of eke them away from each other. Take a nice deep breath, inch yourself away from yourself. And then exhale and relax. Okay, one more time. We're going to bend, kind of pull away, stretch each side, take a deep breath in. Wiggle back and forth, stretch yourself out, and exhale and let it relax. Woohoo! Okay guys, we just finished this whole workout. So, like I said, make sure that you drink lots of water, make sure that you treat yourself to a good whole meal as soon as you're done here. Otherwise, good job guys, this workout is complete. Thank you for working out with me.